Celebrate Natto Day, a beginner's guide to natto. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya, the Natto King. I am the author of Natto Unleashed and the Ikigai Diet. I said it is a beginner's guide. However, I'll be sharing with you one recipe that can help producing butyrate with the short-chain fatty acid critical to our gut health. So please watch the video until the end, even if you're not a beginner. Thank you. July 10th, which is tomorrow, is Natto Day. July 10th in Japanese is 7月10日. So Nanato, it sounds like natto. So it is Natto Day in Japan. And there are Natto Day events happening in many places in Japan. For example, this event took place in Mito City, which is in Ibaraki Prefecture. Actually, last Saturday, the July 7th. And also there's another event happening by this natto powder company. They're doing special campaign for the Natto Day. And then also it's happening, many other events happening in Fukushima, Tokyo, and many other places. So why natto? Why do you care about natto? But by the way, natto is a fermented soybean. We ferment soybeans to make natto, and it is fermented. So therefore, it is one of the fermented foods, such as cheese, yogurt, kimchi, and so on. But why natto? Because it is super healthy. It is incredibly healthy. In fact, it was selected to be the healthiest food by 300 doctors in Japan. I have never seen any other food item that had as many health benefits as natto does. It is an incredible superfood. It is good for muscles. It is good for bones. It is good for the heart. It is good for the brain. And it is good for the gut. How many other food items do you know that are good for all those elements? I haven't. Often people talk about like a protein quality. Like when you think of protein sources, you think of protein quality and you think of amino acids and things like that. And natto has a great protein quality, by the way, therefore it's good for the muscles. But one great thing about natto is good for the bones, it's good for the heart, good for the brain, and good for the gut. It's a almighty food. And especially the gut, because the gut health is probably, it is considered to be the most important factor of our health and well-being. If you can manage to have a good gut microbiome, you are fit for most other areas. If you want to work on one area, work on your gut. And why is it good for the gut? Because of this bacteria called Bacillus subtilis. It is also called natto bacteria. In Japanese, we say natto king. And I call myself natto king because it sounds like natto king. So I like this name. So natto bacteria Bacillus subtilis has been considered to be the coordinator of the gut. It is good for the gut microbiome. It kind of coordinate beneficial bacteria in the gut, supporting, things like bifidobacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and so on. But I didn't really know exactly how they do it, why, natto bacteria can coordinate the gut. But now I understand it. So there is a bacterial relay taking place in our gut. And in this relay, there are three runners. The first runner, the second runner, and the third runner. And the second runner are the familiar bacteria like lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria. You know those bacteria, right? So bifidobacteria and lactic acid bacteria are often found in yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, and stuff like that. So all those familiar food. And I think if you are to try to eat fermented food, that's what you are eating. Probably you're eating yogurt and kimchi, sauerkraut. Therefore, you should have a lot of lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria. Okay. So the third runner, propionic acid bacteria and butyrate producing bacteria. You probably don't know them, and I didn't know them either. So for now, for this video, you don't need to worry about them too much, but they are, good bacteria in your gut. And if you're eating a lot of fiber, you should have, abundant of them anyway. So the idea of eating a lot of fiber is good for the gut is true. However, there is one missing link. That is the first runner, which is natto bacteria, and that is one of saccharifying bacteria. So you need the saccharifying bacteria, and natto bacteria is one of them as a first runner. But this is something you probably don't have so much in the Western diet. You have a lot of fiber, and you have the lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria, but you don't have the natto bacteria in your diet. And this first runner does an incredible job. So when you eat fiber and oligosaccharides, natto bacteria break it down to sugar, which becomes much easier form for lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria to convert into lactic acid and acetic acid. Then, using the lactic acid, propionic acid bacteria produces propionic acid, and using the acetic acid, butyrate producing bacteria produce butyrate. And propionic acid, acetic acid, and butyrate are called short chain fatty acid, and they do all kind of amazing work in your gut. Therefore, to produce short chain fatty acid, you need natto bacteria. I mean, you don't need it because lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria can break down fiber into lactic acid and acetic acid, but they're not good at doing it. They're not good at breaking down fiber. So if natto breaks the fiber down to sugar, it makes so much easier for the lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria to do their work. Right. So therefore, natto makes a big difference in this bacterial relay. So probably you are doing this. You're eating yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, and you think, oh, I'm eating a lot of fermented food, therefore I should be healthy, and I'm eating fiber too. However, you're missing natto here. Therefore, it is good to have yogurt and natto, or kimchi and natto. In this way, you get to have bifidobacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and natto bacteria to complete the relay. For details, please watch my other video. It is called The Missing Link in Your Gut Health, Why Fiber Alone Isn't Enough, the Natto Connection. Okay, so where to find natto then? The best place is to go to a Japanese or Asian grocery stores, or natural food stores, or Whole Foods market. They probably carry natto. And some big supermarkets have a section of maybe health food section or Asian food section, and you may find natto there. Or Thrive Market, which is an online store, you can probably find natto there. Sometimes Amazon carry natto too. Things to pay attention to when you buy natto: GM-free soybeans. Try to find natto that is using GM-free soybeans, and preferably organic soybeans. Okay, so how to eat natto then? So natto usually comes in this kind of package. And you open the package, and inside it looks like that, and you open it, so it looks like this. So usually it comes with this sauce and mustard, but I don't usually use it because it contains all kind of other things like additive and stuff like that. Instead, you can use regular soy sauce, and you take this plastic thing off, and then inside like that. So that's natto, and you want to mix natto. You want to stir natto many times, maybe about 50 to 100 times, and then you put it into a bowl like this. Yeah, you put natto into a bowl like this, and you kind of mix them together a bit more. Then you want to add some soy sauce. And mix it a bit more. Then you want to cut some spring onions, which called negi in Japanese, into small pieces. If you don't have spring onions, you can use leek or even regular onions is fine. So you put negi on the natto, and you mix the natto and negi together. Like that. Yeah, then it is ready. So this is called negi natto. It is the most classic way of eating natto in Japan. There are many other recipes recently, but this style has been the most popular for a long time in Japan. Only in the last 10 years or so, when natto became a kind of boom as a sort of healthy superfood, some other recipes have been invented, but before that, this was the only way that people ate natto for a long time. Yeah, but in my book, I introduce a whole bunch of other recipes. You know, how we eat natto in Japan, and how you can incorporate natto into Western dishes such as pasta, pizza, curry, hamburgers, and so on. But anyway, the most classic way is negi natto. So you just eat natto like that. Usually, we eat natto with a bowl of rice and miso soup. You don't want to eat only natto because it's very sticky in your mouth, so it's good to have rice and miso soup to go with. This one is called natto kimchi don, or natto kimchi donburi. Donburi means like this kind of big bowl in Japan. We have a lot of donburi dishes such as gyudon, katsudon. Gyudon is the beef bowl. When you come to Japan, you find a lot of gyudon restaurants. Like Yoshinoya is a famous gyudon restaurant. The gyudon's don is this one, donburi. So this is natto kimchi donburi. So this is a super healthy, and it is a great dish to produce butyrate because it has brown rice, barley, and buckwheat. So I made this fermented brown rice using barley and buckwheat. But you don't need to ferment it. You can just have brown rice, barley, buckwheat mixture. So you just cook brown rice, barley, and buckwheat together. It becomes a great dish, great fiber-rich dish. It contains a lot of highly fermentable fiber, which becomes good feed for butyrate producing bacteria, and that is also called the longevity bacteria because that bacteria is abundant in the gut of the Centenarians in the Kyotango region in Japan, which has 3 times as many Centenarians as the national average. Yes. Also, this one contains natto, and natto, which is the soybeans, have oligosaccharides and vitamin B1. Both fiber and oligosaccharides becomes good feed for natto bacteria, and vitamin B1 helps butyrate producing bacteria. And we have kimchi, which has lactic acid bacteria and bifidobacteria. Therefore, you have natto bacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and bifidobacteria. Plus nori. Nori is not necessary. It's just I like to put nori, but nori is a seaweed. It's got magnesium. So it is a really fiber-rich and bacteria-rich dish. So try eating natto kimchi donburi. And then the idea is when you make donburi, after serving rice, leave it for a while. So do not put natto on top of heated rice. So you just cool the rice down a little bit. Then you can put natto and kimchi. So, you can eat in many ways. You can just eat slowly like that, or you can mix them. Like you can mix nori, natto, kimchi. That is also okay too. Yeah. Okay, so I'll try. Very good. Of course, you want to have with other dishes too, like salad, miso soup, and so on. Okay, so either way, you can just try negi natto or try natto kimchi don. If you have a regular rice, that's okay. But if you can make brown rice with barley and buckwheat, that will be even better. And if you can ferment them, that will be even better. If you want to know the actual health benefits of natto, please read my book, Natto Unleashed. I talked about it is good for muscles, bones, heart, for the heart, the gut, and so on. But for details, please read the book. And the book also contains information about recipes, tons of natto recipes, both Japanese recipes and Western recipes, and where to buy natto, DIY natto, how to make natto at home, navigating natto stage, because natto has a distinguished taste. Some people find it difficult, but there are ways to navigate this flavor. Finally, natto hacking, how to optimize your natto eating for biohacking. Okay, thank you for watching. Again, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya, the author of Natto Unleashed and the Ikigai Diet. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. And please eat natto tomorrow. Well, I'll see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!